Good morning, Tom.
Morning.
Morning. You can see and hear us okay?
Yes.
Great. Yeah, loud and clear from your end too. That's good. Sometimes we don't know how the microphones work. Maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
We're all good.
Good. Yeah. All right. 11:30. We'll start the policy committee meeting.
Tech.
Tech. Sorry. Yeah, we shifted, as you all know, we shifted the meeting schedule a little bit. So there won't be a policy committee meeting, but we moved the technical from last Friday to today to accommodate certain things that you know basically relate to the agenda item. But we do have a quorum, and so we call the meeting to order. We have quorum. Next is public comments. I don't see here. Okay. And all right. Public comment, no, and then we're moving on to item number 4 for approval minutes from the April 18th meeting. Questions, comments? Hearing none, I'll take a motion. So, okay, Jason, second. Questions, discussions? Hearing none, those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Yes. The next item on the agenda, number 5, is regarding the annual TIP, the Transportation Improvements Program. This will be for 2026 to 2030. Jen, could you give us a little background and whatever?
Sure. We do this every year. And this time around, we got a little hung up at the end in terms of getting the data back to us. But this is the last year we'll do it this way because apparently we are out for the training for the statewide ETIP toward the end of this year. So as of the end of this year, we'll switch over to the new protocol, and it's less centralized. So it doesn't, there doesn't have to be one person at MCRPC and everything will go through. So that'll make it much easier. But in the meantime, we have this, and as I sent this out. For some reason, the printer's gone all garish on me because the colors are weird. But sent this out yesterday. Sorry about the delay. It always takes longer than I think it will. And the only thing that's missing from this document that we ordinarily have ready at this point are the maps that illustrate the projects year by year. And Thomas has been working hard on maps for other things. And so I'm going to be out next week, so I'm going to leave this behind for him to work on. And I'm hoping that a lot of this is duplicative from last year, so it won't be a huge task. Also, as some people were mentioning, the state multi-year program is not out yet. So when it is, we will either shove it in quickly if it comes out the week after next. We might try to do that. Or we will wait until after we adopt this one at the end of June and then go back and pick up IDOT projects and do, as we've done before, the sort of amendment one, which replaces the original approval tip, but now includes the IDOT step. In the meantime, total 5-year committed funding for projects, $211,601,945. Which is, given the circumstances at the moment, and that everyone in the out years is saying whatever, taking any chances. It's not an inconsiderable sum. As things stand right now, 57% of that is local funding, 36% is from the feds, and 7% from the state. So that's how it breaks out. Obviously, when we have the IDOT list, that will change pretty radically because it always brings in lots and lots of cash. And this has been sort of scaled down a little bit because it occurs to me that people really don't need the dozens of charts that I tend to do. So I didn't do it this time. And we'll decide whether or not we want to continue with that. This is the breakdown by fund and by year. And we do this too, and again, I just have the pie charts to show the percentages for each year based on the source, and this has all of them. So when you get a chance to look at it, that will be there. There were a couple of weird pagination problems in the draft I sent out yesterday. I have fixed those. We have the appendix included, which, as everyone will recall, can't really be completed in some aspects until we have the meetings at the end of June, and so go on and other things. So we will go ahead and do that when the time is right, and then as it's approved, that will be the final document, again, until the final projects come up. And that's always fun to see, oh gosh, just the least. Anybody, I know that it was incredibly late, and I just basically finished putting all the stuff into the template sometime on Wednesday. And one of the reasons I'm really glad about the E-Tech is that we're never going to do this again, at least not like this. And so it's, again, I apologize for that, and hopefully we can keep going on this, and we'll just slide in the maps when Thomas has had a chance to deal with them. And we're off to the races. Today would be the start of the public hearing. And so the notice of publication and the draft, as it stands right now, will go on our website as soon as you tell me that that's okay. And that's it, unless people have questions.
Yeah, any questions, comments, discussions? Okay, so we'll publish it, and then that will be considered in June at the, when you take it to the technical again. I guess I'd like a recommendation.
Can we go ahead and do a vote on the approval?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to
Okay.
do, because I want to.
It sounded like you were just.
No, because so people understand the process.
Okay.
This, of course, subject to approval, if it gets approved today for the publication, it'll go to the technical committee in June, and also the policy in June. And that will be, I think, the policy will be the 27th, if I'm not mistaken. And so then it will be sent to so that's the process. And now take a motion for approval, hopefully, for publication.
Like motion.
Okay, Jerry. Okay, further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so motion approved. Will be, this will be published today. Project updates. Anybody got anything?
I guess I could just bring up, I had 3 administrative updates this month that I could call out. 2 of them were to Illinois 9 projects. First one being JO432. We just basically changed the project description to Illinois 9, West Mulberry Street to North Center Street, and US 150 North Center Street to West Locust Street in Bloomington. The second change was to the funding items. There were 2 funding sources not listed in the full list of funding sources that just needed to be updated. And that was for Illinois 9/Hershey Road at west of Towanda Avenue to Carnahan Drive. And another housekeeping thing, on CO85, which is a smart overlay at the ramps at Towanda Interchange, I-55. It had become a federally funded project a couple of months before, and it wasn't caught. So it was state only, and now it's NHPP state match. No change in funding, total funding amount, just had to change the splits.
That's probably a stupid question. What is the difference between an overlay and a smart overlay? Has it got sensors in it or something?
So a smart overlay is more of a pavement preservation type application. So it's usually 1.5 to 2 inches, where a standard overlay would be the 2 3/4 inch, or then the designed overlay more than that. So it's just whether we're looking at like a preservation type thing or a rehabilitation. So that's what it means.
And I have just a few things. One is on June 17th, we'll be hosting our first ever that I know of, Freight Summit, regional Freight Summit, more oriented to the McLean County area region. Doing this in coordination with IDOT folks, different sections, and so we have sent out invites to. We thought people might be interested, people in the industry, operators, some companies in the freight, and so that will be just an afternoon, 1 to 4 p.m. thing. There will be a keynote speaker from Nussbaum, and then there will be a IDOT team presentation with folks on permits, on weight, and air mobility, and also our regional airport director will be on the panel. So hopefully this is, the goals are, one, to encourage the engagement, the networking among folks in the freight industry. And then secondly is a way to update, to have discussion on what's going on in the freight industry, challenges, then we can all work together to help overcome. And we know IDOT has done a lot of freight-related studies, like the parking, for the rest areas and different the statewide transportation plan, and so and freight is one of the subjects identified in our current long-range transportation plan, and we actually have done some research and some conversations with some other freight hubs in the country, and we originally were thinking of setting up freight committees, but then after talking with those folks, they suggest that it's better to have summer conference rather than holding like quarterly or biannual committee meetings, because people in freight industry, they're so busy. I mean, it's not inclined to attend those committee meetings or participate. So that's why the regional freight summit. We'll send some invitations out, but you're interested and you haven't seen it, let me know and we'll be happy to add you to the list. So that's June 17th. And then, as you know, the two other federal grant projects, the SS4A for the Safe King County Action Plan update. There's a meeting next Friday, in fact, the 30th. That will be the second meeting of the project steering committee, and they're working hard on different things. And that update will be finished in September of 2025. Another project, the race, that's for the Veterans Parkway Corridors Plan. It's also ongoing. The next project steering committee meeting will be June 13th, Friday the 13th. It should be a good meeting though. But it's the project steering committee. They did not meet this month. Right? Yeah, this month. Yeah, yes. Yeah. But then, yeah, that's right. They didn't meet in April. There was a meeting on the 9th of May. This month, they continue the work. And so there will be a workshop, in fact, on the 13th of June, and there'll be like our half meeting. So some of you are on the committee. I will be sending out more information, but just plan that accordingly. And that's all I have for project updates. If you have any questions. That which may arise, anything? I feel like everybody knows you, or you know everybody. Do you know everyone?
So I'm not sure.
I'm Kevin Coth.
You're Kevin Coth. Okay,
Yeah,
so I've seen your name on the email. So you're retired, but still helping. Is that
officially June 20th will be my retirement, but I'm using pay time off, so I'm not really in the office.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm working like 2 hours a week. I told Jim I'd help out just with transition. So
yeah, and I haven't officially met Jim yet, but
okay.
I think I will next week, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you made an appointment to come down.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Avery Gore. If you don't know, I'm the local roads engineer now. I was the programming engineer. I'm still handling some of those duties as we try to figure out what we're going to do as we transition. But I've officially moved over, and I'm I'm well into it with local roadsmen. So
Yeah, congratulations.
yeah, thank you. They're a great unit, and I look forward to working with them and to keep working with you guys. So thank you.
Yeah. So you'll be staying on for policy, technical, do you know yet?
I just came more with them today, kind of to get my face on and remind you who I am, and just to be available to you if you have questions or things you need to work with us on. And so I probably won't be attending these meetings unless you need me to. So
Okay, I appreciate that.
Derek's going to keep handling it, and Dan will keep handling it for local roads. So
Yeah. Okay, sounds great. Yeah.
but I'm available anytime. So
Okay, great.
Ray?
Yes, Tom, please.
Yes. Want to make sure that we document and follow through with our publishing the draft UWP for a public comment. Need to have that documented in the minutes, and that it's going to be out today to be approved at the next policy meeting.
Okay.
Correct. We will do that.
Yeah.
Right. So just need to get it documented.
I know. We will.
Well, that's why I'm bringing it up, because it hadn't been said anything so far.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Tom. Yeah. That's another major document outside of the tip that we did the publication.
and I guess back to my programming hat. The MYP for us has been completed for a long time, but it is officially locked to us for any kind of changing, which
Right.
typically means we're getting close to some kind of announcement. But I don't have any official date that they've let me know.
Okay.
So
Okay, that's
It
good
is
to know.
out before, by the end of the first week in June, I'll take a crack at it and we'll figure out a way to modify extend the comment period and go ahead on the 27th. We haven't done it quite that way before, but we'll see. Or we just wait till the end of July to fold in the other projects. It's just ways.
I know. I mean, Bob used to ask me every day. Derek does not do that to me, but Bob used to
I don't
hear
know websites
anything. It's like, I promise you'll be the first one that knows. But
dark secret.
yeah, but there is a lot moving and a lot going on, but they have not given us any kind of idea. So hopefully it'll be soon. Like I said, it's locked to us, which means I think that means they're getting close to getting it wrapped up.
Yeah. Always good, because a lot of uncertainties we all know, transportation and other areas.
The startling thing about this year's tip without data projects is, everyone is always a little more cautious and more restrained in the out years past the first 2 years. It's like off a cliff. People are just not risking suggesting they're going to do X, Y, or Z.
Okay.
So there may be, out of those 3 years, there may be 4 or 5 fiscally constrained projects, and that's it. So people are cautious because who knows what happens next.
By the way, we maybe you're aware because IDOT, but then IDOT is a big organization. So since we send the draft UWP to IDOT, and so we also got HSTP, Human Surface Transportation Plan, notice from IDOT, that you will be given a 1-year contract agreement, which they're still working on. And so I don't know, Tom, and I can talk with you after this meeting, is there something, because that might affect some of the staff man hours in the UWP that we sent, to you or to IDOT back the earliest draft, back in February 14th, and then subsequently April 1st. So, but then we didn't know about the HSTP that will be coming, which is a good news too, anyway, to us. But then I don't know how that fit into the UWP process. Should then, after we have the agreement from IDOT, then have it executed, then maybe do an amendment, after July 1. I don't know what would the better appropriate procedure would be, because right now we don't have the agreement, but then you have the UWP, we need to publish it, we need to get it done. What would be a good way to handle that?
Well, it should be addressed after the subsequent SPR contract is made, to just amend your UWP. But for now, we need to get the agreement based on the draft and as you're publishing now, and then can just amend the UWP thereafter. That's something just be done administratively. It doesn't take
Okay.
Yeah. Get the agreement, that's what we need, because that's what, anything with secretary signature is one that is difficult to get the changes. But.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, because things can happen, right? After April and after our submittal, but at least we got another IDOT project, got the agreement going. But it's not there yet, and I know it takes time. But we don't want to mess up the UWP process as well. So it's good to know. So we'll do it after July 1, and then we can do it as an amendment. And
yes,
because we have to deal with that with the county budget process as well. This is another thing. But okay, that sounds good. Any other items? Oh yeah, please.
Did anybody attend the webinar yesterday on the local project funding opportunity? The application for those are due June 1st. But
I got the slides this morning, thanks to Tom.
Yes, get those to any folks. They were really well done. Yeah.
They were. Yes, it was. But the funding that's available doesn't have a local match, so just needs an agreement writing for me if we get any projects awarded. So,
and do you have the slides?
I do not have the slides.
Yeah, I just got it this morning. Yeah.
They offered them, but I usually don't ask for them.
Well, I attended and I tried to take notes, but Brent didn't attend. I'd like to get the slides for him, so I don't know who you need to ask. But
We'll find somebody. Helen said she had them.
okay.
Yeah,
Great.
Ray, can you get that out to just everybody?
Yeah, I plan to. Yeah, I got it this morning. I plan to send out to our partners. Yeah, because I sent the circular letter to email to the partners last week, few days ago, something. Seatown County and the Connect Transit. And I do have one question. Would the airport would that apply to? Because they're trying to do some work on the roads. There's some freight access road. They short on money. But is that something could be covered under this program?
There was a lot of yeses said yesterday when people asked questions, and primarily they're looking for any form of improvement that involved transportation of humans could be available. And if you don't think it's available, they still want you to go ahead and apply just in case they have the funds. It's really $400 million.
It was a lot. And,
Yeah, it was a lot of money.
the application process seemed pretty
Simple.
simple. Yeah.
We're going to submit, we've already submitted 2 projects and probably submit 1 more.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah, encourage the same thing for the city and the town also. It seems
I would encourage. Apply for phase 1 if you don't have, if you're not ready for the project, but get the phase 1 done, and that'll make you more competitive than for future funding opportunities. So
yeah,
it seems like it's a good thing. It's a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
But I hope that
Is it June 1?
June 1st. Yeah.
It's all on
Which is
the
that
website,
Sunday or
and it's
something?
30 questions.
Okay.
30. You just populate 30 questions and you submit.
Yeah.
You go back
The
and
link for the application is on I think the last slide.
Okay. Yeah, good. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. I thought seems like there's money really want to be spent and take advantage of it. Sometimes we don't. I encourage no match and simple application. There are not needs in even I don't know if like we're working on the Veterans Parkway, right? Plan. The existing like sidewalks missing and those type is that something that not premature to apply? Don't have to wait for the plan done because there's already existing needs, could those qualify? I don't know.
I would think so. Would you say yes?
Okay,
Yes.
okay. But that would fall into now. But that's IDOT choice. Role. So should the application, could that be the city, town? Because you have, how does that work?
They really wanted local public agencies to apply for them or be the sponsor for a project.
Okay.
So just like an ITEP grant or whatever, we want a transportation authority / local agency to be that.
Okay. Yeah. Because part of this, in normal and then partly in the city, Wetlands Parkway, but so we'll talk more. It's just maybe opportunity, because even with the Wetlands Parkway, even the plan is done, it will take time and a lot more money for all the construction. But in the meantime, in the next 5-10 years, people even today can use better accessible, walkable sidewalks and whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that would be attractive.
Okay. And that's also good for IDOT too, because it's an IDOT road. Okay. So we might, tight turnaround, but then maybe it's, worth to do it. Okay. Well, Jen's on vacation.
As I said earlier in this meeting, timing is everything.
Yes. But she said that she'll check emails to me.
I will. I will not write a grant.
Oh, no.
Even if there's only 30 questions, it's a checkbox.
Yeah, understood. Any other things? No, thanks for
10 minutes, just get done with it.
Thank you for bringing our attention. Anything else? Okay. Next scheduled meeting will be the 20th of June. Take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Jerry, Kevin. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Being none, it is adjourned.